Thank you guys for joining us. Welcome to our September session of the Daring to Learn value-added webinar series. If this is your first time joining us, we do this webinar on the second Tuesday of every month. We have live sessions for about an hour, and these will be recorded and will go up on the Center for Profitable Agriculture's YouTube channel once we get wrapped up. Our session today is called NAFDMA Lessons Learned. So we'll have some folks who are previous NAFDMA Professional Development Scholarship recipients sharing some of their lessons learned from NAFDMA with us. And looks like we've got some other folks coming in. But we'll go ahead and move through these slides. So my name is Alaina Boyd, and go ahead and introduce some of the other folks that we'll have with us this morning. But like I said, my name is Alaina Boyd. If you've been on Daring to Learn before, you probably recognize at least my name. The reminder emails come out from me. I am an extension assistant with the Center for Profitable Agriculture. Our office is based in Columbia, Tennessee. And also with us, we've got Megan Leffey from my office listening in. And the two scholarship recipients that we have with us today, we've got Cody Nash from Nash Family Creamery, who is actually on the live session with us, and Jodie Moore from Friendly Farm in Tazewell, Tennessee, was supposed to join us, but due to kind of some unforeseen circumstances, Jodie is not on the live session with us, but we've got some information to share from her once we get started. Cody, if you want now, you can say hello, or you can wait until later, whatever works for you.
Sure.
You don't have
yeah,
to share yet.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, Alaina. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So moving right along. We've got some session objectives for you guys, and I just wanted to kind of touch on these briefly as we kick off. So we're going to start by introducing the Value-Added Dairy Professional Development Scholarship Program and give you some more insight into what NAFDMA is and what you can get out of this educational opportunity. And then we'll also have some additional professional development opportunities to discuss towards the end of the session. And then, of course, Cody will be with us to kind of share his personal experience. And then I have some highlights from Jodie to share with you all. So the Value-Added Dairy Professional Development Scholarship Program, I know that's a mouthful. It's managed by the UT Center for Profitable Agriculture, which is the office that I work in. And this scholarship program allows value-added dairy producers to have a chance to apply for scholarship funds in order to attend the NAFDMA Convention and Expo that's held annually. And this funding is available through the Southeast Dairy Business Innovation Initiative. Some of you may be familiar if you've seen that SDBII logo before on some of our stuff. It's actually on the landing page for our Daring to Learn slides. And this funding through SDBII comes from the USDA's Agriculture Marketing Service. And the current application period for the 2025 NAFDMA convention is open. We'll have some more information for you guys on that in the follow-up email. And the application period for NAFDMA in 2026 should open in September 2025. So always comes around in September every year. And if you're not familiar with NAFDMA, you may be wondering what exactly is NAFDMA? What does that stand for? So it actually stands for the North American Farmers Direct Marketing Association. And NAFDMA as an organization provides support and resources for agritourism operators and agricultural operations involved in direct marketing. these operations could be doing anything from on-farm retail, pick your own, farmers markets. We've got some other examples up here on the screen, but NAFDMA kind of serves as a resource for those producers. And again, to kind of give you a better idea of what NAFDMA is and kind of that convention experience, I've got some pictures up here. So in the top left, this is our group from this year's NAFDMA convention in 2024. So it was held in Boston, Massachusetts this year, and Cody and his family and Jodie are actually in this picture. So they went with us in 2024 to this most recent conference. And this photo over here on the right just gives you guys an example of the group learning that kind of takes place during a NAFDMA farm visit. So there's a ton of opportunities to kind of learn from other farms, learn from other producers, kind of engage in the farm visits. This is one we went on in the Boston area. And kind of moving right along, you may be asking yourself, well, why should I choose this scholarship opportunity? There may be other professional development opportunities out there. NAFDMA offers a kind of an exciting mix of educational opportunities, whether that's the live sessions in person, hearing from speakers inside the conference, or attending farm tours. There's networking, an expansive trade show, one of the bigger trade shows that I've ever seen every year. And it also gives you the ability to connect with producers internationally. So there are folks from all across kind of the globe, not just in the United States, that take part in this experience. And it really is a rich professional development opportunity that we encourage you guys to take advantage of if you can. And of course, the scholarships help make participation possible for folks because it can get kind of expensive to attend NAFDMA. And this gives you guys an opportunity to take part in this convention where you otherwise may not be able to. So again, I've got some more pictures here, just kind of illustrating why would you choose this scholarship opportunity. And of course, one of the big ones that we think about is just the travel to kind of get off the farm and see other parts of either the country and to see how other farms operate. NAFDMA also gives you an opportunity to find creative new solutions for your farm business. So there's always somebody in the room to learn from, whether you got something out of the session that you attended or whether you met somebody in the room who was able to help you solve a problem. There are all sorts of opportunities to learn at NAFDMA. And some of these other photos, this here is a farm sign that I took in Boston this year. And there's all kinds of just little tidbits for you guys to pick up on in these experiences. So anything from signage ideas, and of course, they have what they call bonus day sessions. So I attended the bonus day session in February of this year, and Maureen Ballatori from Agency 29 in New York State, she actually taught that. So her session was on leveling up your brand and kind of honing in on your marketing. And that was a unique interactive session that I got to be involved in. So there's lots to take advantage of there. And just another slide as we move through for you guys about investing in professional development. Taking the time to invest in professional development, both for yourself or for your farm business team, that can be really invaluable for you down the road. It allows you a chance to just build yourself professionally, interact with other folks, growing your network in a professional development situation. It not only provides you with new friends in the kind of agricultural space that deal with similar situations on and off the farm. It also allows you to create new partnerships and farming relationships. There's always a chance to collaborate with somebody in the future. You may be looking for someone who is already offering a specific, they've got a product or an idea, or they're doing something on their farm operation that you may not know about, and you interact with them. And I like to think of NAFDMA as an opportunity to solve problems. I've met several folks just in the 2 years that I've been involved in taking producers on this trip. It's been very, very valuable just for me. I know it is for our producers as well. And then again, being able to learn from other operations, you really get out of professional development events what you put into them. And I've heard folks say that, all throughout my kind of my college experience and into my professional career. And sometimes you kind of wonder, well, what does that mean? But the more you involve yourself and the more you engage in the sessions or in the networking opportunities, the more you get back out of them. So really kind of taking a chance to put yourself out there and engage with this opportunity can be beneficial for you down the road. And this next slide is just kind of an overview from 2023 and 2024 of the participant breakdown and locations for past NAFDMA experiences. So in 2023, we took a total of 11 value-added dairy producers and 2 UT Extension personnel to Austin, Texas. That was in February of 2023. And in 2024, earlier this year in Boston, we had 4 value-added dairy producers and then 2 extension personnel attending. And then, of course, we'd like to see those numbers get up a little bit higher. So hopefully some of you folks attending are interested and able to go, and we can see maybe a bigger group again attending in 2025. And I know I kind of ran through those kind of fast, and I didn't mention this earlier for you guys, but if at any time you have a question or you need to kind of stop us and maybe go back to another slide, feel free to do so. You all can use the chat function. You can raise your hand. You should be able to reach out to us if you have a question. So if I need to hit back on something, let me know. But I have kind of reached the point in the session where I'm ready to open it up to our scholarship recipients. I know Cody is the only one here with us actually live on the session, but if you want to go ahead now, Cody, and kind of introduce yourself to folks and kind of share your NAFDMA experience. I've got a slide here with a little bit more information about your operation and some of what you guys do, if you want to take it from here.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Alaina. I like all the stuff you pulled from our website and everything. It looks good. And from our
Yeah,
social
you're welcome.
media. Yeah. So my name is Cody Nash. Myself and my family, we're the owners of Nash Family Creamery, located in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, which is about 45, 50 minutes south of Nashville. We are a retail location and then also a manufacturing location on our dairy farm. So we manufacture ice cream and we manufacture cheese, but then we also have a retail aspect where customers can come out, they can buy lunch. We serve gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, obviously scoop our ice cream in different portions, and sundaes, milkshakes. So that whole retail experience, and then in addition to wholesaling, like those pints that you see in this slide, and then some cheese as well. So we've got plenty of stuff going on. But about NAFTA, so we've been to myself, my wife, and my daughter, we went to the Austin one a couple years ago, and then we also went to this Boston um, event as well. Both were great experiences. Boston was a tad bit colder this year, but it was still a great time. So I'm just going to go over about 4 points of kind of stuff that we learned, and some items that we brought back and implemented in our own operation. Um, the first thing was like brand compliance and then private label. There were a number of speakers that really pressed on, um, if people are driving out to your location, and most of the time for value added producers, they're making a trip. So you want to make sure that everything is promoting your brand, making sure that it's your experience that you're giving to them, and um, that they're really gleaning away positive, I guess, reinforcement behind your brand. So there are a couple of vendors that were there. There's a big vendor trade show that you can go through that we found to be super helpful. It's everything from um, private label companies that can put your brand, they can name it for you, make it brand compliant for can, jar goods, bakery items, candies. I mean, you name it, there's someone there that can private label it for you. Um, like stuffed animals, like stuffed cows, we sell a bunch of. So after we left, we made an effort this year to actually uh, take that learning experience and start putting our brand on stuff. It helps it sell better, and it makes it feel like our customers are getting more of a niche product that they can't get anywhere else, because that those specific items aren't sold anywhere else. So we have probably 15 or so private labeled, like jarred goods that are all really good quality. They have our brand on them now. And then a couple variations of stuffed animals, um, that have like these little custom t-shirts on them that have our logo on it. And they sell like crazy, and the margin's pretty nice. So a small portion of our business, but it's those little things that add up over time, um, that create a good, memorable customer experience. And that it's stuff they're taking home. They're looking at your brand. Um, it's just promoting it and getting it out there. And that's why Coca-Cola and Walmart and all the Fortune 500 companies spend millions of dollars on advertising to just get their brand in front of you. And even though we're small producers, we still have to do the same thing. Um, the next one, there was a really cool consultant that was out of Oklahoma that we went to one of his seminars, and he was in tourism as a larger industry, but then also um, agritourism as a subcategory of that. And he spoke on a couple different occasions. Um, and he emphasized getting your transaction price up a lot, trying to provide different needs that you can find from customers that you can make more margin on. You can make a higher transaction price, because as that customer is there, especially if you're a seasonal, and there's a decent amount of seasonal people, especially if you meet people from up north that have operations in colder climates, it's really important to try to get a higher sale from each customer that you can convince to come out to your location, because it might be a whole other 12 months before they come back out. So, um, one thing that he was actually pushing was alcohol, and selling beer, whether or not it's branded as your own brand, or um, as some other local craft brewery. So we're like, oh, okay, we thought about this before when we originally opened our location. We were going to get a beer permit and just have some craft beer. Um, Ended up being one of those things that you just need to go that extra step and confirm that it's something your customer base will like, because we went on Instagram and our Facebook pages, and did a poll, and it was overwhelmingly actually against doing alcohol. It was like 70-30 split. Um, a pretty good amount of people um, responded to that survey, and a pretty good amount of people actually like private messaged us about it and said, like you can't destroy the family atmosphere that you have. You can't do this. You can't do that. So I think we took the surveys down with them like the first like 8 hours. They're supposed to be up for 24 hours. But it's just one of those things. You get an idea from this conference. and you want to implement it, and you just need to know your customer base. There might be someone that's closer to an urban center that they might not find that as repulsive as maybe a more Bible Belt kind of area that's a little more rural. So it's just one of those things. Is trying to get up transaction prices, but the brand compliant items I think have done that in a large part as well. But an interesting learning experience for sure. And then there was one good seminar on a family up north. They had a retail aspect and I believe a wholesale aspect to their business as well. And they were walking through the steps of building a whole new building, a whole new facility. It was a good hour and a half of just really good open book discussion. People were asking questions on the timeline, what specifics they went through to get their plan correct. It was a multi-year process, and that was something that we're currently in the process of doing. So it was interesting to hear about someone going beforehand and their experience, the patience that they put into the process of, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to spend this money, let's do it right. Let's not rush through it just to open and just to get the new building built. Let's think 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. Let's get really good plans put together so that way we capture everything we want in terms of better workflow for our production spaces, customer experience, and turnaround time. So that kind of pushed me to, okay, we could kind of slap some expansion together, but we're growing every year. So that plan that we put together might satisfy us for a couple years, but what's our 5 year plan? What's our 10-year plan? How do we think about septic capacity for our utilities since we don't have city sewer or any sort of community sewer system? How do we think about our electrical panel? How do we build around that? How do we build around bringing three-phase in? So I'm actually meeting this Friday. Finally got on the books with an engineer that we've worked with before. They're just so booked out, but going to begin that process to, okay, let's take a step back. Let's look at building an expansion. We know these are our needs. These are going to be our needs in 5 years, 10 years. How do we build this right to where we don't get down the road and are super disappointed that we missed out on an opportunity we could have had because we wanted to rush into it. And then also waste money on something that, back to the surveys, collecting data from your customers, you might build something thinking they need it or want it, but it's actually not what your customer wants. So just taking that time that we have this summer, and we're going into this winter to build a good plan moving forward on expansion. Fourth option being a dairy farm, or the fourth learning aspect being a dairy farm was kind of a hard pill to swallow, but one of the speakers hit on it pretty well, and it's kind of a come to Jesus moment, I suppose, on serving your customers and offering their needs in terms of what they want in terms of selection. And we've started the process of rolling out some, not all, but a few options of dairy-free and sugar-free options. It's one of our top recommended requested items that we don't offer. And I've always just died on the hill of we're a dairy farm, so we're not offering anything that's dairy-free or sugar-free. But at the end of the day, your business has to make money. Otherwise, it's not going to be a business for very long. So we've started putting together recipes and a plan in the expansion to offer some dairy-free options and some sugar-free options. And it's just as the market turns and more people are sensitive to allergies and they want some more variation and options. It was something that going to that conference, it was something that was in the back of my mind, but hearing it from someone else sometimes is enough to push you to action on something that's necessary for your business to succeed. So having gone to this conference for 2 years, especially with the scholarship that the center offers, it's kind of a no-brainer. Especially, if you only need to go for 1 or 2 years, it's a great learning experience. I'd recommend going If you can go in a party of two, because there is multiple sessions going on, like 5 or 6 different sessions going on at one time. So those multiple times where myself and Kara, we split up and we said, okay, I want to go to this session. And she wanted to go to a different session. And it worked out really well because we were able to gather more information from one experience, versus if just one person went. And then you also get the positive of traveling to a different part of the U.S. Boston and Austin are both really cool. Never spent much time in either of those areas, so there's just a lot of upside to just traveling and seeing how different people operate their businesses in different regions of the country. So, yeah, that's kind of what I got. I hope it was helpful to some of the producers on here and people looking to expand or jump into value added. I don't know, Alaina, if you want to do any questions or if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Cody. That was great. And I sent something in the chat again to everybody. If there is anybody that does have a question, and maybe it's too much to type in the chat box, you can kind of let us know, raise your hand, or there's some emoji options in Zoom. I can turn your microphone on and give you a chance to kind of ask that verbally if you need to. So if anybody's got anything specifically for Cody, and if not, I can move on into Jodie's stuff. But again, like I said earlier, if I need to go back to something, or if you need us to repeat something, feel free to let us know. And we'll give folks just a second. All right. Well, I'm gonna move on to our next slide. But again, thank you, Cody, for all that information. That was really helpful. And of course, we really can't touch on that enough, guys. Just the experience in itself, all the things of there's so much to take in. I really like what Cody said about remembering to take a second person. So Megan and I kind of do that as well. There's so many sessions to go to, you can't possibly soak it in all at once. So maybe if you guys have someone else from the farm that could attend with you, or maybe if you can't go, if you've got somebody else in the operation that could, it's definitely worthwhile to kind of tag team the sessions that way if you can. Right. So we'll move on into our next slide here. So I mentioned this in the beginning, but it looks like we've had some folks hop on and off throughout the session. So Jodie Moore with Friendly Farm in Tazewell, Tennessee was supposed to be our second scholarship recipient to share in the panel discussion, but she can't be with us today due to kind of some unforeseen circumstances. So she did share some important takeaways with me from her previous NAFDMA experiences, and I've got those on the next slide for you guys. But similarly to the first slide with some of Cody's contact information, I've got some of the information about Jodie and Friendly Farm on this slide. So again, this is just a screenshot from her website, and I pulled some of the pictures from their social media to share with you guys. So they've got quite a bit of agritourism happening at Friendly Farm. And I'll move in and share some of Jodie's insight with you guys. So we've talked a lot about marketing kind of throughout this session, but being that NAFDMA is a direct marketing conference, that makes sense. And Jodie did share, kind of like Cody said, the variety of sessions was very helpful for her. And she shared that a lot of the speakers that she has attended sessions for in the past, they have blogs or ways to keep up with them online, a website or social media, in order to continue to get more information from them in the future. So kind of keeping up with the speakers that you listen to at this conference is helpful. And then ticketing is a big thing for our agritourism operators. And that was something that I didn't necessarily have experience with. I know Austin in 2022 was my first time attending NAFDMA, and just taking in the conference kind of blew my mind. But there are a lot of ticketing options, and a lot of those folks are in person at NAFDMA. So you can interact with the ticketing platform personnel, as Jodie shared. That's helpful, especially if you need to troubleshoot anything. You can do that face to face. She actually uses Ticket Spice for Friendly Farm, and she shared with me that it was helpful to kind of talk with someone in person to troubleshoot anything if she needed to. And another specific takeaway that Jodie shared from her experience was just the emphasis on sessions related to productivity. So her specific takeaway related to Google Workspace, and that really helped to improve efficiency for them, and allowed her to stay organized kind of across all levels of the farm. The sessions at NAFDMA are really interesting because I think for direct marketing and for some of our agritourism operators, you guys have to think about productivity maybe a little bit differently than other professional development sessions. So I sat in on one in Boston this year in February that was about emailing and newsletters and kind of using Google Workspace and your email to your advantage. So there are a lot of really interesting sessions on specific things like that that you guys can sit in on. So that's been really helpful. And then of course, something that I didn't specifically put on this slide, but I know Jodie has shared with me before, social media sessions are also a really good one for productivity and marketing. There are folks there to help you kind of troubleshoot as you work through some of those digital and technical workshops. So maybe if that intimidates you now and you think, oh, I can't possibly sit in through one of those, I don't know how to use, MailChimp or Facebook or, anything like that. There are folks there in those sessions that can kind of help answer those questions and navigate you through that. So don't be intimidated by what you don't know. There's a reason that you guys are going to learn. So, but those are Jodie's big takeaways, and then we'll move on into some other upcoming professional development opportunities from our center. And hopefully by now you guys are familiar with Daring to Learn. Some of you guys are very faithful repeat watchers. So we really appreciate our little following that we've gathered for Daring to Learn. If this is your first time, or if you are watching this recording later on YouTube, we do the live session on the second Tuesday of every month, starting at 11:30 a.m. Central Time. The topics change from month to month, so sometimes you'll be listening to me, and sometimes there'll be other folks. We've got panels similar to the one we had today, where Cody shared with you guys. So keep an eye out for different Daring to Learn sessions as we move throughout the year. And coming up in spring of 2025, early spring, we should have some more value-added producer grant workshops. I see we've got Troy Duggar from my center here attending the session today. We'll have some more information from Troy for you guys, hopefully, as we get closer to the spring on those value-added producer grant workshops. And then, of course, NAFDMA in 2025 is coming up. That's going to be in Lexington, Kentucky in February 2025. So if you guys are interested after this session, and maybe we've swayed you one way or the other to attend, hopefully you can join us in Lexington next spring. And another one, a good one to attend, is the Pick Tennessee Conference. So that's held every year in Franklin, Tennessee. Megan Lefew is also on this session with me from my center. Megan plays a big hand in that Pick Tennessee Conference every year. So maybe if you are not able to attend NAFDMA, or if that's a little far for you, Franklin might be closer to home. And the PIC Tennessee Conference has a lot of professional development opportunities for you all. And we should have more details coming soon on some digital marketing design workshops. All right, guys. These fall allergies are getting to me. I apologize. As I was saying, we should have more details coming soon from CPA on a digital marketing design workshop. Hopefully that will be in winter 2024, so later this year before the year ends. And you should see some more information as we move into 2025 on our market ready buyer tours. If you follow us on social media, you may have seen some information from CPA about those this year. And then, of course, we will have the Southeast Value Added Dairy Conference coming up in summer of 2025. And the date for this experiential learning course has not been decided yet, but we are also looking to take a group of value-added dairy producers, producer processors to California. So at some point in 2025, you guys will learn some more information about this upcoming SDBII experiential learning course. We just got back last week from the Northeast, so we took a group of producer processors up to Vermont and New York State. So hopefully this may be something you're interested in, and keep your eyes peeled for information on all these upcoming opportunities. And that is the last slide I have for you guys besides our contact information. If you guys need any of this, again, as a reminder, my name is Alaina Boyd with the Center for Profitable Agriculture. I've got Megan's email on here as well. And this is some of our office's important links. We've got our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube channel, as well as our website. All that contact information is there. If you guys have any questions, now is the time that I will open the floor back up to you all. Feel free to ask if you've got anything burning on your mind, any questions that maybe you have for Cody, or anything related to NAFDMA. We'll give you guys a chance to ask those. And for those of you who have attended a Daring to Learn session before, hopefully you've seen this screen in the past. So if you're a Tennessee producer and you're interested in receiving educational credit for the Tennessee Agricultural Enhancement Program, this is the QR code to scan and fill out your attendance and evaluation form. So if you're not familiar with TAEP and you're interested in learning more about that, our Daring to Learn session offers application B, so producer diversification educational credit. If you watch 5 sessions throughout the year and fill out this form from the QR code, if you fill out that evaluation form, then your name gets turned in to the Tennessee Department of Agriculture, to those folks that handle TAEP. Even if you're not interested in TAEP credit, I would encourage you to fill this evaluation form out anyway. It's helpful for us to know from you guys what's working, what's not working, and if we need any to make any changes with our Daring to Learn session, this would be the place to let us know. So again, you guys have time for questions, and we'll hang out for a few minutes, but if not, thank you for being with us this morning. Thank you, Cody, for sharing, and I will give you guys a chance to think on any questions if you have them. If you guys don't have any questions, feel free to hop off. That'll be kind of my cue to stop recording. So if you don't have anything for us, feel free to take off. And if you want to rewatch this again later, the recording will be up on our YouTube channel later.